Guy Code with
Rena Osware.
Welcome to another episode of The Guy Code. I am Rena Osware. Guys, I know it's been a long while since I published a new episode. However, there's something really special that I am working on, and you will get to benefit from it once I release it. But today, the topic at hand is the misuse of gender roles in Kenya and the world in general. I think it's good to start from the very beginning is what are these gender roles and how are they perceived in this society right now? We all know that a man's role is to be a protector and a provider. This is what we have seen, this is what we have grown up knowing, this is what we have grown up seeing demonstrated. Number two, a woman's role is to be nurturing, accommodating, and pretty or beautiful. That is a woman's role. Now, how are these roles misused in this current society? Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the man's roles, right? The role of a protector. This is misused when a man is made to believe he's defending a woman's honor, but in reality, he's acting on her feelings in the moment. I think immediately what comes to mind is the Will Smith situation at the Oscars with Chris Rock, how he reacted and decided to go up and really emasculate Chris Rock in front of the whole world, reacting on his wife's feelings in the moment, and just to happen later on that Jada says that she really did not agree with how Will Smith reacted. So, guys, it's very important that you understand and you differentiate. Are you defending a woman's honor, or are you reacting based on her feelings in the moment? Right? Let me take an example that could be a little bit more common. Maybe you're out with your lady and you're going out, you're having a nice time. Maybe she's had a few drinks, she's a bit intoxicated, and she decides to get into a confrontation with a stranger, even a bouncer. And she wants you to step in and take over the confrontation. It's very important, guys, that you really get to differentiate in that moment. Are you defending her honor, her respect? Or are you defending her feelings in the moment that right in that moment she may feel disrespected or offended over something that's very minuscule? And it's something that once she sobers up, maybe the next morning she will be embarrassed that she started that fight. And maybe also she would be wishing that you were a voice of reason and pulled her out of that situation, you know? So it's very important, guys, to understand, are you defending her honor? If you're out with your lady and someone calls her out of her name and disrespects her, that is unacceptable. Of course, that is unacceptable. You should definitely do something about it. But if the situation is that she may be offended, she may be feeling offended in the moment over something that could be very petty, right? You really have to understand whether it is worth it to escalate the situation. Because understand, guys, many times women just want their feelings acknowledged, not necessarily acted upon or given solutions. Just validate how she feels in the moment, right? It's the same way with some of you guys. You understand when your woman is coming home and she tells you about her day and she begins to rant about this colleague and they do this and then my boss does this and she's like this, and you're there thinking that she needs solutions. No, she just needs a listening ear. You just acknowledge how she feels. So if you think that that is the time that you need to be a protector and said, you know what, babe, I think you need to quit your job if you're that stressed. If you're that stressed, you just quit your job. I'll start a business for you. She doesn't want those solutions. She just wants a listening ear. She can air out her emotions and feel better about it. That's how the feminine is. right? And also about being a protector, guy, is that you need to treat people how they treat themselves. If they do not respect themselves, why would you respect them? Their actions show they don't view themselves worthy of respect, right? People treat you how you carry yourself, right? If you carry yourself as a respectable person, people will treat you with respect. But if you carry yourself in a way that you're showing that you don't even think you are worthy of any respect, they will not respect you. So when it comes to defending a woman's honor, you have to understand, you have to really evaluate whether this is a lady who seeks that kind of honor or is worthy of that kind of honor from the way she carries herself, right? Of course, guys, there's some baseline respect that every human deserves, absolutely. But when it comes to a confrontation and defending it and taking action, you really have to determine whether this honor you're defending is really worth it. Is she an honorable person? That is point number one, the misuse of the role of a protector for men. The second one is the misuse of the role of a provider, right? Guys, you need to understand you are to provide what she needs, and the truth is, many women cannot pinpoint what that is, especially when they're young. They just know how it feels, right? So, guys, you need to provide what she needs. And for younger women, many of them are yet to understand what that means for them, what that really is. They can't really express it, clearly. Many of them know how it feels in the moment, and that is okay because that is the season they're in the moment, right? So you're not to be in a position to satisfy all her wants because her wants are endless and unlimited, right? She needs leadership worth submitting to. She needs to be highly esteemed by a man she highly esteems, and she needs security, etcs, right? This is what she needs. She needs leadership. She needs to be highly esteemed, acknowledged, appreciated, and respected. That's a basic human need. And she needs safety. She needs security, right? These are her needs. Now, chasing after satisfying all her wants is digging yourself an ever ending hole, because once you provide this, there will be another one for something else. Once you got your first phone, you didn't stop that. You wanted a better one and a better one and a better one. And in this consumerism society, they will always churn out new products that are better, that are faster, that are bigger, whatever. So chasing after satisfying all her wants is digging yourself a never-ending hole. Secondly, guys, and not secondly, rather, another point is that you really need to understand that you never underestimate her ability to fix her own situation. More often than not, if you are not in the picture, she will still find a way to solve her issues on the other side. On the other side, if you give her all your resources, there will still be some problems she will need to solve. I think I'll go over that again. Is that do not underestimate her ability to fix her own situations. More often than not, if you are not in the picture, she will still find a way to solve her issues. And this is for the white knights who think that, oh, she's been going through a lot. She's been going through a lot of pain in her life, a lot of situation, a lot of stress. And that happens. That happens to each and every one of us. None of us are really exempt from that or from life happening. But you need to understand that she's a grown woman, especially if she calls herself an empowered woman, right? She is empowered to provide solutions, first of all, for herself and also for the people she's responsible for. So do not underestimate her ability to fix her own situation. Do not think that, oh, if not for you, she will not be able to do this and that. If not for you, she will not able to achieve this or to be able to get to this next level that she really deserves, that you think she really deserves. I think this is also comes down to a pride thing when some guys really want to take the credit that if not for you, she wouldn't be in the position she was in. But you need to understand when she is in that position, there's always room to improve. Are you able to really elevate her to another level of improvement? Are you? Also, if you give her all your resources, there will still be some problems she will need to solve. If you give her all the money you have and say, here's all my money, start whatever business, how many businesses you want, well, there will also be another solution. How do you start those businesses? How do you allocate funds? Is that money enough to run the business if there's no customers or a low traffic of customers for the first few years, right? So if you satisfy all her wants and think to yourself that if without you, she will not be able to achieve what she really wants to achieve, you will be very mistaken. That'll be a very, very big mistake on your part. So what you need to understand is that when she says she's a strong, empowered woman, believe her. Believe her. This is the second role we have covered for men, the misuse of the role of a provider. Let's get to women's roles. The first one we're going to discuss is the role of a nurturer. Women are supposed to be nurturing, right? We all know the narrative that whatever you give a woman, she incubates and multiplies. You give her your seed, she gives you a child. You give her groceries, she gives you a meal. You give her a house, she makes it a home. This quality is abused by men who want to be mothered and coddled. They don't want a partner, they want another mother who will put up with their own complacency. So they sadly come to the table with nothing at all, but expect the woman to provide results out of thin air or using their own or her own resources, rather. We take, for example, men who move into a woman's house and expect her to make her house his home now, right? And this is very embarrassing and sad that many women are exploited in this way. Now, the role of a nurturer, guys, you need to understand that it is very important in your society. How women are able to nurture and incubate and multiply whatever we give them. It's very important, it's very impressive. However, this personality trait can really be abused and is abused a lot, especially by, con men. These women sadly can attract men like the Tinder swindler. I recorded a podcast episode on that. I think you really need to check it out if you haven't listened to it. It's a very good listen. So women who are nurturing, women who will think, okay, this guy he has something in him, and I think I will need to, or it will be beneficial if I invest in him, right? And so they take him on. They decide to nurture him, to help him start a business or help him start a career, because they feel that they need to exercise this nurturing nature that they have as women. And it is very unfortunate that many times these women can actually lose everything they have, thinking that they are exercising this duty that they have as women. Right? So, this is one role that women are actually exploited, is actually abused when it comes to a woman's role of being a nurturer. Secondly, is the role to be beautiful and pretty and feminine, right? The cosmetic industry owes a large percentage of its success and profits to this. These organizations, companies continue to tell women that unless they are skinny, light, straight hair with certain bone structures, they are never enough. Right? Now, this forces women to want to enhance, reduce, tan, lighten different things about their body. Since consumerism society has dictated that, and it is assumed that this is what we men deem as desirable. This is the role of being pretty, being beautiful, being feminine. And we can all see how these cosmetic industries are just popping up and making billions of profit, sharing women different secrets on how to look even more pretty, more beautiful, more feminine, because this is what is deemed as their role. However, that's for fine and good. It's okay for women to get what they want to make them feel more confident. However, when it comes to a point where these companies really emphasize the point that a woman is not enough unless she has all these products on her, or she can afford all these products, or she can apply all these products in a certain way, then it becomes toxic. And if I'll speak from my own experience, viewing in society I live in, as far as things like bleaching of your skin, where a dark skinned woman is not proud to be dark skinned. She is really bombarded with messages that unless you're a lighter complexion, or actually the lightest complexion that you can achieve, you're not really attractive or desirable, then it becomes very toxic and very problematic. Right? And the truth is, guys, the truth is that most men do not need all these things. Most men don't need these BBL surgeries, or the widest hips, or the most, the largest boobs to keep them happy. They just need peace of mind for the most part. They just want peace of mind. So it comes to a point where all this is done in vain, and all this can actually lead to very serious health problems in the long run. We know that bleaching can really cause even skin cancer. It's a very sad situation when it gets to that, and also to death. Some of these surgeries, like the BBL, people can die on the surgery table, all because you really feel that you need to present to the world a certain level of beauty, which you are not meant to present. You are meant to present your own standard of beauty, your own unique standard. So it's a very tricky situation that we need to discuss and evaluate as a society about this role abused and misused as far as the women's role in society. So that is just what I wanted to share with you guys on this episode. Quick recap is that the misuse of gender roles in Kenya and in the world. The first role of being a protector and a provider. Being a protector, you need to understand, are you defending your woman's honor or her feelings in the moment, acting on her feelings in the moment? Secondly, being a provider, you cannot provide or supply. You're not a genie to actually grant all her wishes and her wants, right? You need to provide her needs. You need to understand what she needs, and do not underestimate her ability to fix her own situation and provide solutions for herself, right? As far as the man's role and the woman's role, how they're abused, as far as the role of being nurturing, the men who are moms, the men who really want to take advantage of women who have it all together and take advantage of the quality and the personality trait that they need to find something to nurture, to build, to something that is really presentable and really fulfilling. They want to misuse that and take that for themselves, take advantage of that when they bring nothing to build on. It's very sad. And making the lady use all her resources to build the individual, just so that they can get to a certain level and leave and find another lady who will actually elevate to him higher. it is quite sad and embarrassing. Lastly, of course, is the role of being pretty, feminine, and beautiful. How the cosmetic industry has taken advantage of this and really emphasized to women all around the world that they are not enough unless they satisfy a certain standard of beauty, which these companies really propagate just to make their own profits. So, guys, I hope this episode has provided something of value to you guys. I really appreciate your feedback. And I'm still working on that very special publication. You will be able to take advantage of it very soon. And until next time, we shall talk soon.
Guy Code with Rena Osware.